Of all the brands I've driven, Genesis is one of my favorite. They really got their act together. Styling, performance, good value. I understand they might have one in the fleet I can get, so I put in my order. And this is the color I wanted. Let's wait for the paperwork and see what happens. Finally, the paperwork has arrived, but then let's put it on the screen. The base car with a 4-cylinder engine starts around $42,000, but I see we're getting the 3.3 liter V6 turbo with the Sport Prestige package, which means it's a bit more than $42,000. Quite a bit. As we can see, yeah, 50 grand's a reasonable price, but of course they always had options like this here. And here's that silver paint I wanted, but they're charging $1,500 extra for it. Wow. And here is the total tab. Still less expensive than competitors in this class, so no complaining from me. Especially with a factory warranty like this. Let's see where this is made. Oh, it's made in the Korean plant by Korean workers with Korean parts. That means the quality control is going to be 100%. By the way, here's a list of standard equipment we don't have to pay extra for. Wait, there's more. And here she is in person, a very, very nice looking machine in my opinion. I've never heard any complaints. And the rear view. As you can see, I got that $1,500 silver metallic paint I ordered. Sort of a matte color, doesn't shine much like other paints. On the positive side, it is good looking. What they don't tell you in these YouTube videos is you can't buff out scratches on these paints. Get a scratch, you have to repaint the entire body panel. It costs you a lot of money. So, do you want to get a low deductible in your insurance and have them pay for it, raise your rates, or get a high deductible and just do it out of pocket, which is probably the best option. Or if you're worried about it, just don't order it at all and get standard paint. Your choice. One of the first things we do when we get a vehicle is to check to see what brand of tires are sitting, because a lot of car makers are putting cheap garbage on to save money, but here we got some nice Michelins. And I'm glad to see these are 19 inches, not the 20, 21, 22 inches we get because they look cool and destroy the ride. 19 inches is about as big as I want to go. And all these G70s come with Brembo brakes. Nice big disc. Means we're going to have some good stopping power. I can see that already. It's 100 degrees outside, and I want to get in some shade here, if you don't mind. And another thing we do when we get a vehicle, check and see if there's a spare tire, because most cars just don't come with them anymore, because manufacturers are trying to save money. Yeah, we got one under here. Look at that, a nice big price sheet. Wish I knew about this earlier. Wow, this is a big one. I didn't even think it fit on the window. And another thing we do is take the headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. We did a headlight test at night video on this already and posted that video on YouTube. We'll have a link for that video at the end of this video to click and watch, so you're getting 2 videos for the price of 1. Under the hood, the base car has a 2.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder putting out 300 horsepower. Rated at 21 to 29 mpg in 2-wheel drive and slightly less in all-wheel drive. If you want real performance, you want this 3.3 liter V6 putting out 375 horses and 375 foot-pounds of torque at a low 1300 RPM. Lots of low-end pulling power there. This particular one's rated 18 to 27 mpg. We're going to rack up some miles to see if those numbers are accurate, so don't go away. And they all come with an 8-speed automatic, regardless of your choice. One thing I like about Genesis vehicles are the interiors, first class all the way. Should be. They went to Europe and hired some of the best designers that have worked for other companies like Bentley, which explains why some of these components look like Bentley. The glove box size is decent enough. Very simple climate controls. Some are touch screen. That's okay. They have knobs for the temperature. And simple knobs, your map navigation, seat track for the radio, radio button, media setup, a simple stick shifter, your drive mode, gives you eco, comfort, sport, sport plus, and custom. Pedal shifters for manual shifting on the steering wheel, where they can always be reached regardless of wheel position, which is better than what the Italians do, putting them on the steering column where they can only reach in a straight line, which is kind of stupid. Yeah, I know Ferrari puts them on the steering column. Doesn't mean it's the right place to do it. They belong on the steering wheel. We can touch it with your fingers. The camera system is very nice, good resolution. Well, the info screen here is not the biggest I've ever seen. I don't need any bigger than this. Seems okay to me. And I see we have a menu of sorts. The only drawback, well, as you can see, the passenger seat in its current position, the rear passenger has enough room over here on the right, but my seat's way back. Not much leg room for people on the left here. So, is there enough room back here? Depends on the size of your passengers. But nice leather, nice quilted seats, and very comfortable. And all the materials and workmanship in this vehicle is 100%. Alright, show and tell's over. Let's do some driving, and occasionally I get a comment, people saying I'm a bit biased, too positive for Genesis. It's not really true, just that there aren't that many bad things to say about a Genesis product. Not the ones I've driven anyway. Unless otherwise stated, all of my driving will be in the normal mode. And that being the case here, the power steering is very nice, quick responsive, decent feel. You never know it's electric. By the way, I forgot to mention the radio stations are very, very easy to program. Your favorites to program in, your favorites to program out, scrolling. Very, very simple. That's very important to me because I like changing radio stations often. Won't be a problem with this system. All of the V6 vehicles on the G70 line come with adaptive suspension. If you put it in the comfort mode, it is, well, very comfortable to drive in city traffic, soaking up all the bumps and potholes. And we have cameras on the outside. You put the turn signals on to see what's on your left or right. Don't worry about the glare you're seeing here. It's only on the camera. In person, the glare is not that bad in spite of the plastic cover. It's reflecting the camera lens, not my eyes, so not too much to be concerned about. I've driven the 4-cylinder G70s, and they put out a lot of surprising power for their size and good economy. I would have no problem driving one. On the other hand, this turbo V6, the power of this thing is just awesome. It's a beast. I can't demonstrate that in city traffic, but tonight we'll take this out in the sticks and demonstrate it there. With the Turbo 6, I can hit 0 to 60 in around 4.5 seconds. That's about as quick as the V8 Mustang GT I had a couple of months ago. Even though this has less horsepower, it's got a lot more torque on the bottom end. This baby's quick. These bimbo brakes stop very, very quick. Oh man, this thing is quick. Woo! Hang on. I always preferred the V8 engines in the Genesis line, but you drive this Turbo 6, you won't miss the V8, I promise you that. I'm going to put this in sport mode and do some mountain climbing. And stiffen up the suspension a bit for taking these tight corners. And when it's put in sport mode, the exhaust gets louder. We still have traction control. You lose traction control if you put it in Sport Plus. I'm not ready to do that yet. this engine is strong. Yeah, baby. These brakes are perfect. Perfect feel. Perfect stopping. They did a very, very good job on this. Alright, I just put it in Sport Plus mode. That turned the traction control off and locks it down in the lower gears and doesn't want to shift, making a lot of engine noise and guzzling a lot of gas. I don't really see the point in doing that unless you're really racing somebody. And I'm not racing anybody. The sport mode's more than adequate. So let's go back to sport mode from Sport Plus. Sport Plus is a little too radical, even for me. The maximum cornering ability on tight corners isn't quite up to the same level as the BMWs and Mercedes-Benzes I've driven up here, but it's still more than adequate. The suspension is a bit softer than the German vehicles. But it's still about 90% ability. I'm not complaining. I don't think you will either. And let's face it, about 90% of the Genesis owners are never going to drive like this and won't be really concerned about it. And that's a shame because they're missing out on a lot of fun. This is a very, very well engineered machine. Holy crap, what the hell is this? Fog? Fog in the summer in the desert? It's 110 degrees in town today, and we're running into fog up here? You gotta be kidding me. Well, we'll go a little bit further and turn around, I guess. Now we're down at a lower elevation. In the meantime, I ran over a snake and almost hit a skunk. Let's hope I don't hit something else. I've been running downhill about a half an hour now. Really running these brakes hard, and they're perfect. No fade, no loss of stopping power. Still running perfect. Very, very impressive. Like I said, these Bimbo brakes are standard equipment. You don't even have to pay extra. This is a very nice car. Yeah, go baby, go. Woo! What a machine. Our previous driving, especially the highway trips, temperatures were around 100 degrees plus. Tonight's cool, around 73 degrees. So we're taking another highway trip, or should I say fuel economy run. I think with this cooler weather, we'll have a far better number than we had last time. And I'll try to keep the cruise control on most of the time, not do too much passing. So let's see what happens. Just a note, the first highway test I took, I was using 91 octane premium fuel. This one I knocked it down a bit to 89 octane. See if it'd make any difference in the fuel economy. Didn't seem to make any difference in the acceleration or power, but as far as fuel economy, we'll find out soon enough. I want to see what the absolute worst mileage I could get would be if I did a lot of stop and go traffic, short trips like 2 or 3 miles apart, 0 to 60 times, put my foot in it. Didn't care about fuel economy, just want to see what the worst was I could get, and this is it. 47 hard city miles at 17.8. It'll get far better beyond this point, especially since we're going to take a highway trip. Now we reset the computer, do a highway trip, approximately 120 miles. Let's see what happens. Outside temperature 90 degrees, a bit cool tonight. There's 117 today. This G70 is a very nice highway cruiser. Very comfortable, great for long trips, as most Genesis products are. I'm really impressed with the brand. I love driving them. Lights up pretty good in the dark as well. So here's a result of our freeway trip, 118.6 miles. Did it in an hour and a half, 27.0 mpg. And I was driving a bit quicker than I should have been. and I was passing a bit more than I should have. If you put the cruise control on at 75 and just left it alone, you would do better, I think. If we get a chance, we'll do another highway trip, so we can bump up the numbers a bit by leaving the cruise control on, my foot off the accelerator. So with 91 octane premium on our first test, we got 27 mpg, and with 89 octane, we got 25.5 mpg. Not much of a loss. So what do I think about this G70 after a week of driving? Well, it's definitely a fantastic sedan, great value for the money. Some good European engineering. Yeah, it's Korean, it's still European engineering. If you would like one but can't afford it, here's a tip for you. Find a nice one that's 2 years old just off lease, or maybe 3 years old just off lease. Say you're on 20 to 30 grand. You might say, well, what's the big deal? You do that with any car, right? Not necessarily. Don't forget the 10-year factory warranty that comes with the Genesis. That means you get one 2 years old, you have 8 years left. Get one 3 years old, you got 7 years left. And where else are you going to get a used car with 7 years of factory warranty, which is twice what you get on a brand new Lexus? I'd say that's a pretty good deal. It's just a lot of people don't even know what Genesis is. There's a lot of these on used car lots right now just waiting to be bought at a good price. One of the best sleeper deals on the planet. New or used, take your pick. Now coming up is our headlight test and night drive video we did. Just click and watch, you might as well watch it. You're already here. You might want to see how these headlights perform in the dark, don't you?